Hola. So, finally, dreams. I'm gonna have to begin with a disclaimer. I am not likely to do this video very well because I have no idea even where to begin. Dreams are kind of my forte, or at least they were. When I began my training, that was kind of how everything started out and carried on. And being a traveler, it is, essentially my primary tasking, where I'm best suited to work with psychology and symbolism and such. I will state for fellow travelers who are schooled in this practice, particularly for those of the old school, most particularly for those of the school of hard knocks, that we'll always be clumping, everything in the realm of, say, projection or astral travel, interdimensional travel, out of body experiences, though I hate that term because it's technically impossible. You cannot get out of a body, you're always in a body. You will always be in a body of some sort or another. To do elsewise would be outside of the realm of physics, which does not exist. So, everything we will of that sort will be clumping together under the terminology of dreaming because, as any of you should know very well, everything is a dream. Everything. So, I guess I can start out with my own stories of the most recent past. As most of you know, I fell ill recently. I got hurt. I pushed myself a little too far. I did something maybe I shouldn't have. Seeking an experience, seeking a certain knowledge, something new, which I found, by the way, and is particularly cool. But um, I pushed myself a little too far, and it allowed for the cold incoming, beating down the impulse, and fighting through my very aura to punch a hole through my immunities and get to me. Which in the beginning I thought that I had, you know, caught cold or something, which I think is probably a myth. You don't catch a cold from a cold. It's kind of a stupid idea, but I thought that I had actually gotten sick, which I should have known better. My body is very well equipped. My metabolism is far too high for an illness to keep up. It just doesn't happen anymore. It hasn't happened in, I don't know, almost 20 years. But um, I actually thought that I was ill. So for maybe a week, what seemed like kind of a month to me could very well have been 2 days for all I know. Uh, I spent that time just kind of trying to fight off what I thought was a common cold or common illness. Drinking fluids, keeping active, trying to keep my spirits up, fighting it, and I did not know at the time that I'd actually developed pneumonia. I was not sick. I had been damaged. And eventually I decided, well, to hell with this because I'm rapidly losing functionality. I went to see my nurse and was informed for the umpteenth fucking time that I was, this close to never recovering at all. Which, she asked me, why do I always beat myself up like that? I didn't have an answer at the time, but ultimately I think it has to be this way. Somebody has to be willing to push the limits. Somebody has to be willing to move that fast, to do the things that others are afraid to, go to the places that others can't get to for fear of what dreams may come. And that is me. That is the tasking of the traveler, to move through these realms. So, any case, my lungs were filling with fluid. I was unable to get a breath, and I was, not getting the required oxygen to the brain, which I hate that shit. I hate requiring oxygen. I generally have a distaste for anything biological. I don't like having veins or blood, but really, it's the only way that I can interact with you, and I love you all so dearly. So its necessary fragility. Um, Without the oxygen, I'm losing consciousness. Well, technically losing consciousness. We, the travelers who have effectively merged achieved a fusion between the ephemeral and perpetual selves, we uh, we do not ever actually lose consciousness for the most part. We're always awake. Jump from here to the dream and back without a blank spot. We're for the most part aware of what's happening on either side of the transceiver at all times, except for in the case of certain things like fever dreams and getting lost in the void, which happened, both simultaneously, in fact, in this case. But I would be falling asleep, every few minutes or so, like actively doing something. I went out the first night. I went down to the club and hung out, and I don't know how I made it home. Like I was really falling out, and I made it back, and I tried to do some work, and couldn't speak. I didn't have a voice at all. That sucked. Yeah, and trying to speak. It's like trying to belt out nothing at all. But I kept falling asleep every few minutes, no matter what I was doing, and the dreams that I would have. Holy shit. I've had some wild dreams before, but these were amazing. Like, at first it was a fever dreams where I was, as I recall, I was trapped in an attic fighting ninjas that were coming through the walls at me with the samurai sword, which, I mean, is pretty cool, but of course, in fever dreams, you don't, for the most part, you tend to not know that you're dreaming, which is a major nuisance. But then I started having these dreams where I was being sent out on missions, and it was kind of like a GTA world, like an open world kind of thing, where I had a HUD in my actual site, and I was in this city where I was undergoing these taskings, and I was collecting things that I would carry from dream to dream that would like enhance me or give me certain special powers, make me fly faster, make me able to shoot bolts out of my fucking hand. That was pretty sweet. But like I was seeing, people would tell me, characters in the dream would tell me to do a certain thing, to activate a mission, and I would do it, and it's like I would see storms erupt in front of me. I would see entire cities built, just constructed from out of nowhere in front of me, and it was amazing. At one point, I was a future samurai resurrection of Miyamoto Musashi, living in an underground kind of a train world where it was a complex of railway systems, and I was moving from train to train, uh, delivering messages to contacts regarding a revolution that we were launching against some corporation. But in other dreams, I saw cities being built, and I would get an objective in my HUD, and I would take off flying after it. In one case, it was a girl on a train going over like a railway in the air thing, and like a bullet train. And I caught up to her, and she had a bomb strapped to her chest. I had to get her to a certain area over across the city to get this bomb disarmed. Meanwhile, there's like a horde of robot police officers chasing after us, and we were kicking the shit out of them. It was great, and blasting them with my fingered blasters, and fucking chick is smashing them with the rifle, and we are just fucking these dudes up left and right. It was pretty sweet. And eventually I picked her up and I flew her like Superman to the destination. That was that. Another time I went to a sweet, mystical pink villa where I got lost looking for the bathroom, totally cliche, and wound up in the basement where I met this woman who told me that she was flushing the illnesses from my body, and she was like working this weird harp kind of a phonograph thing. I don't know what it was, but um, it was crazy. It was a lot of fun, and at one point when I started actually getting better, treatment was taking in, and I was getting better. I began to have dreams where I met with some of my older teachers from the dreams who were showing me more about how four dimensions work and specifically how to utilize them, or how to make practical use of four dimensions here in this three-dimensional reality. In what case I am now moving so fucking much faster than before. It's incredible. Um, in regards to you guys, I talk to a lot of you about your dreams, and I don't know why you guys don't post shit about your dreams. Like, are you afraid of something? You know, you're the purpose of this is for you to share these things with each other so that, you know, somebody on the other end, one of the people checking in, might see something that inspires them, might see something that's a coincidence for them. Things might line up. You know, dominoes fall, effects take action, things happen because you make them happen. Things don't happen if you just remain silent for whatever reason that, you're too shy to share your dreams with the group. Fucking snap to, man, get with it. We're doing something here. We're making something happen. You're a part of that, every one of you. Make it happen. Stop fucking sitting on your hands. Direct it. In any case, a lot of you told me about fever dreams that you've had. I like that. We found that there's a big correlation between the uh, function of kind of bouncing effect, which I spoke to somebody at work today who told me the exact same thing. She said she had a dream about a gully where bees were attacking her and she was bouncing out of the gully like off of a springboard, which many of you told me the same thing, that you've had these kind of like trampoline dreams where you bounced off the walls and stuff during fever dreams. I don't know why that's common, but we'll get to the bottom of it. But yeah, a lot of you told me about great dreams that you've had. Some of you told me about actually working with figments, creating, using pieces of yourself to create characters that would aid you in the dreams. A lot of you are a lot further on than I think you might realize, and you really just gotta read into what I've already taught you about, you know, find a piece of a memory of a dream. It doesn't matter what piece it is. Find it and attach it to something. Like if you see something that looks like a cigarette in your dream, something that might remind you of a cigarette, just for example, attach it to a cigarette. Take a look at a cigarette, hold it with you, find an object that reminds you of something from the dream, or think of a person's name, whatever it is, tag it with mnemonics, hold on to it, save it in your memory, and just focus on it. Keep focusing on it throughout the day. Meditate on that one memory. Just keep doing it, and eventually it will just pop, and the whole dream will come back. And the more that you do this, the more you will remember until you just stop forgetting. And you will pass seamlessly from here to there and back again, and you will transcend the veil. You will no longer be eclipsed. Um, so the idea that we have status, primarily myself, in accordance with the value systems. Value being the inherent qualities that make up who we are. The values and the aspects that are set upon values, fragmentary pieces of ourselves that we use to create our personality. That the idea generally is that everything we encounter in our dreams is a value that can be recovered or can be maneuvered in some way. And if you're lucid in the dream, if you're aware that you're dreaming, you can actively manipulate these values. You can alter your own personality. You can alter how your brain is creating the reality that you live in on a daily basis. And this isn't bullshit. And nobody's fucking with you here. I'm trying to tell you some pretty fucking seriously awesome truths that can really drastically alter the way you live your life, which a lot of you have talked about depression and shit recently. That's easy to fucking change, man. It's easy. It's easy to change that. You don't want to because you're addicted to it. It's no way to live. Man. You get with the program. Let's chip her up. Let's pick things up. Let's kick some fucking ass. Stop being stop being so sluggish, please. Move faster. Move faster. Um, so if you'd like to know more about that, how these values operate, what they represent, how you can read into dreams and such and deal with them, just talk to us. Talk to me. I can set you up with somebody else if you want, if you don't like me. But or request things. Talk about your dreams, and we'll converse about them in the comment section. We can talk about them, or if you want to talk over Messenger, fine. Be shy and scared and want to fucking deal with things in private, or share it with the world because you're proud of who you are and there's nothing for you to be afraid of. That would be the ideal notion, really. Uh, in any case, do that. Share your dreams, ask questions. We have answers, fascinating answers that can really make things cool. We can have a lot of fun here if you guys start to get more active. Please do. This shit with one-on-one over Messenger. First of all, it's just not fast enough. I cannot move fast enough to deal with everything. And I mean, I can move fast enough. The machine phone cannot move fast enough. Messenger, one-on-one conversations, it's not working. We need to be collaborative. Everybody needs to get together here. And please, I'm begging you, we need to get moving. We're wasting far too fucking much time. There's a reason that we're doing this. Okay, we are on the clock here. We need to get moving. And you guys would be fucking flat out gone if you didn't give a shit at all. So stop pretending like, you know, everything's so much better to do. You have a purpose here, real purpose, and you'll see that fucking purpose shine if you just get with it, get active, start making things happen. I promise you, your life will light the fuck up. It's what we're here to do. It's what we're here to do for you, and ultimately, you are here to do with us. There is a plan here, not just my plan. The world is putting these things together, but I do. At any rate, I guess that's about as much as I can say right now. Try to keep it in mind. There is a system in your dreams. They work for a purpose. They serve a purpose. Things can be done there that can affect your reality. And always try to keep in mind that whilst you can be lucid in a dream, you're not usually lucid, and you can achieve lucidity and have lucid dreams. The same thing is happening here. You're not lucid right now. Most of you are still sleeping. You gotta wake up, everybody. I'm telling you, the place where I'm at, perspective I'm viewing you from, fascinating, wonderful, magnificent things are occurring in every one of you, shining brilliantly like a star in the fucking night sky. I want you guys to see this too. I want you guys to be here. So let's try to pick up the pace, get with it. This week's theme obviously is nature, particularly human nature, which I'm really looking forward to because a lot of you tend to have tells you don't really know about. Give yourselves away a lot. Reveal your nature, though you try to hide it. It's actually in the act of trying to hide it that you most reveal it, and nothing wrong with that. Nothing bad. It's comical and it's beautiful. Every one of you are magnificently beautiful, just unfathomably gorgeous. Every one of you are so capable of being constituents in this greater, bigger picture. Each one of you are capable of achieving so much and doing so much more. All of us together, we're going to do something amazing. I'm telling you, we're going to change everything. So, as usual, thank you for the time you've given me here. Thank you for all the time you've given me. Thank you for everything. Every one of you, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I love you all very dearly, and I wish you all the very best. And I very much hope that you get more active, get excited, because you have a reason to be excited. Big things are happening, especially in the near future. So, Kila Siai, Kila Salai, Kamwe Siari. Be excellent. Be fucking excellent. And let's all try to be a little more excellent together. And consider sharing in on the theme, because it's happening whether you like it or not. You might as well, put in your 2 cents, lest you miss the chance to. In any case, love you all again. Be safe, be wonderful, be lucid, and be excellent. I will talk to you next time.